Hi, my name is Mary van Reyk and I'm the author of Surf Riders Club, and I'm going to read today the first chapter from my debut novel, AVA'S Big Move. Sarah, can I come over to your house? I squeaked into the phone, blinking away tears and shoving clothes into a suitcase. What's wrong, Ava? She asked. You sound like you're crying. My crazy parents are being crazy, like always, I said, wedging the phone between my ear and shoulder while sitting in the two-full-foot suitcase. I jerked the zipper along. Clothes were still trying to explode out, but I didn't care. See you in 5 minutes. I'll explain everything then. Angrily jamming the mobile into my pocket, I started dragging the heavy suitcase downstairs. My big brother Shane was at the dining table, looking as grumpy as I felt. His dark, wavy locks hid his face, and his skinny body was slouched over an empty plate. Shane looked up and his eyes widened. Where are you going? He asked. I'm moving to Sarah's, I said, flicking my long black hair over my shoulder and giving him a look that said, just try me. Sometimes having an older brother is a real pain in the... Mum, Shane yelled out with a stupid smile on his face. Ava's running away from home. But it's pizza night, Ava, Mum's voice floated out from the kitchen. I'm making your favourite. She appeared holding a perfect pizza slice with brown, crispy top and melty cheese strings hanging off the side. I'll never eat pizza again, I yelled while yanking the front door open, especially not any made in your stupid cafe. Mum's expression went from surprise to hurt. Usually I would never speak to her like that. I loved my parents, but they were about to ruin my life with this ridiculous cafe idea. Stomping across the road through the rain and wind, I went straight to Sarah's house without bothering to knock. We'd lived across the street from each other since we were little, and I was allowed to come over any time without having to ask. Storming to the end of the corridor, I threw open the door to her room. She was on her queen-sized bed, staring at her iPad. Her blue eyes looked me up and down, and she started chewing on the end of one of her blonde plaits. I looked crazy in a fluffy yellow dressing gown over my Ugg boots and school dress with wet windswept hair and eyes puffy from crying. To top it all off, when I threw my suitcase on the floor, it burst open, spewing clothes out everywhere, including undies. My parents bought a cafe and we're moving away forever, I said, throwing myself down on her soft pink doona. I'm going to start at a high school, someplace where I won't know anyone, and we're moving as soon as term ends. Sarah reached out and grabbed my hand. Can I move with you? I wiped tears from my eyes. Sure. In fact, let's run away to New Zealand together and live with my Uncle Rob over summer. We can come home when your parents are sane again. Suddenly she sat up. What about New Zealand? You're still coming on our ski holiday, right? I felt the tears start again and my chest go tight. The biggest and most important holiday of the whole year. Sarah's Uncle Rob lived in Otago in New Zealand, and every year since forever, our families had spent mid-year holidays staying with him and going out to the snow every day. I'd already decided that next year I would tackle my first black run. Now, who knew if I would ever see the snow again? It wasn't fair. No, I wailed. They said we have to spend the first few years working on the cafe. We can't afford to go anywhere. They'll make me the dishwasher. My hands will crack and prune up and my fingers will fall off, and I'll never become a world-famous snowboarder. Don't be silly, Ava, Sarah's mum Kerry said from the doorway. They'll never make you the dishwasher. You'd break too many glasses. Plus, you don't need fingers for snowboarding anyway. Just don't wash the dishes with your toes. She sat on the bed and pulled me in for a cuddle. And we'll come and visit you in the school holidays. I know you don't want to leave and we'll miss you a lot. But there are exciting things to look forward to when you move to a new place. Who knows what fun things you'll find at Beechcrest? Maybe this is the start of something really great. I wasn't so sure. Sarah and her mums, Kerry and Holly, spent the next half hour cheering me up with cuddles and promises that Sarah would call me every day. Then Kerry called my mum, and she, Dad and Shane came over. We all sat in the lounge room, squished on the couches, eating pizza and garlic bread Mum had brought over. This pizza is so delicious, Holly said, picking up another slice. I can't wait to come and eat at your cafe, Helen. She licked her fingers. Mum beamed. She was an amazing cook. Mum and Dad had been saying they weren't enjoying their jobs for a while now. They had talked about opening a cafe together ever since I was little, but I never thought they would actually do it, and so far away from all my friends. This big move would affect everyone, but Mum and Dad made it without including me and Shane in the discussion. This wasn't the first time they'd surprised us like this. Even though they seemed like normal parents, every now and then they would do crazy stuff. For example, packing our bags one morning and driving 7 hours to their friend's commune in the country for 2 weeks. We had to poo in a hole in the ground and there wasn't even any Wi-Fi. Shane and I had tried to hitchhike home, but the only vehicle we saw was a farmer on a tractor, and he said we wouldn't fit. I would never have expected something like this though. I felt betrayed. There are only a few cafes in town, Mum interrupted my thoughts, so not too much competition. And the house we're buying has enough land for Joey to grow vegetables. Dad smiled from a stool over at the oven where he was supervising the next batch of pizzas. Mum looked at my brother, who was inhaling some garlic bread, having now recovered his ginormous appetite. And Shane is excited he won't have to catch buses and trains for an hour to go surf. Shane shot her a look that said, "Don't talk to me." But to be honest, that was the only look he gave any of us at the moment. He also seemed to need a lot of sleep-ins, but only during weekdays. On weekends, he would get up at dawn, grab his surfboard, and trek to the other side of the city as the sun rose. After surfing all day, he'd come back for dinner, eat 3 meals in one sitting, and go to sleep in front of a surfing movie. I tried surfing once or twice when I was little, but I don't remember being excited about it. Snowboarding was my sport. Both Shane and I loved it, and we looked forward to our snow trip every year. Just thinking of flying through the powder and racing to the bottom made my heart sing. None of that mattered anymore, now that we were never going to see the snow again. I felt a big teary lump growing in my throat just thinking about how unfair it was. "And Ava will be starting high school," Mum said, smiling over at me. "You and Shane will be at Beechcrest High together." I was meant to be going to an all-girls selective high school in the city. Most of my friends had gotten in, but of course everything was different now, thanks to the big move. I was glad Shane would be at my new school. He was 4 years older than me, so would be starting year 11. Even if he was a pain sometimes, I knew deep down that he would look after me. Sarah reached over and gripped my hand. She was boy crazy, and I knew she was already thinking how I could be her link to a bunch of cute surfers. I didn't feel anywhere near as excited, but I wasn't very excited about anything right now. Maybe I would make some great new guy friends, but all I could think about at the moment was not seeing my BFF every day. It would be like having an arm cut off. I couldn't imagine doing little things without her. Who would walk to school with me? Who would I sit with in class? Even though we still had weeks left together, I already missed her. Later that night, our parents had tea and chatted about the move to Beechcrest, while Sarah and I hid in our favourite spot, the cupboard under the stairs, just like in Harry Potter. "I bet you'll have a boyfriend after your first week at school," Sarah laced her hand in mine. "You have to promise to text me as soon as you get one. Everyone will be so jealous." "Gross. No thanks," I responded. "But I'll find one for you if you want." "Yes, please," she laughed. "Find me one that has a big fluffy cat and a cute dog that chews everything, since I'm not allowed any pets. And maybe a goldfish too. And he should live in a mansion so we can get more pets. And then you can come live with us too." I scrunched up my face. I'm trying to picture the mystery boyfriend, but all I can see are the pets, the house, and me. "Are you sure you don't just want some pets?" Sarah giggled. "No, I want all the animals, the house, and the boy, thank you very much. Your wish is my command." I crossed my arms and nodded my head like a genie. And that's it. Thank you.